I don't know if you guys can hear me, but I'm going to test out some of this microphone in a little chat. So if you can hear me, just comment, and I'm going to see if I can see your comments while I'm talking. Anybody out there? So, all right, we'll see. I'll wait. I'll give everybody a few minutes to hop on. I was trying to actually hop on Facebook and go live with everyone. I just want to wait to get a few more people. Hey, that's my cousin. Hey, Sarah. How's it going? What's up? This is my office. We're doing lives from my couch office on Monday. From my office couch. But I'll just give everyone a few minutes. I'm going to pop on Facebook. I forgot to mention it. Sarah, can you hear me on this? Is it coming up pretty clearly, or do I sound pretty low? I don't see any comments. I'm going to go. Let's see. It's very clear. Awesome. Okay. Well, we seem to have a few people hopping on. So I'm going to get started in just a second. I'm just going to go on YouTube now from my computer and make sure I can just see the comments as they pop up. I don't want to miss anything. Okay, guys, thanks so much for joining me today. I am live on the couch, and I'm just checking. I don't want to mess anything up. I'm watching myself from YouTube. It's kind of creepy. Okay, perfect. All right, so we can't do that because that'll distract me. So let's get right into it. So if you're here and you're with us, welcome. Thank you so much for joining me today on the couch. We are going to talk about self-esteem. This seems to be a really great topic, one that many women struggle with, even really empowered women. I work with lots of fierce, awesome women in I'm a Beachbody coach, and I work with them there. I work with fierce, awesome women in my therapy practice. Everyone I seem to surround myself with happens to be pretty empowered, and I think that's because it's something that's really important to me, and so it ends up sort of, I attract that, tribe. So that's why you guys are all here, because obviously you've been attracted by that as well, and I'm hoping that I can share some really great information with you. If this is your first time joining me on the couch, I am discussing mental illness topics. I'd like to use the term mental struggle instead. And I am interested in helping people break down, the stigma that comes along with mental illness, and share a little bit about my own experience as well. So today we're going to talk about gratefulness and science, and how the two help build our self-esteem. So first you might ask, how the heck does science have anything to do with self-esteem? So I don't know if any of you have heard of the term neural plasticity, or it's neural plasticity or neuro. I have it written down somewhere. Let me see. Sorry, I just don't want to get it wrong. I'm not a doctor, by the way. Okay, but these neuroplasticity and neuroelasticity. Okay, so that's it. Neuroelasticity and neuroplasticity. It really just means, in plain English terms, that our brains are kind of like plastic. They can bend and mold and be shaped by our experiences. The way the brain works is a neuron, very simple little science lesson. Our neuron in our brain, right, has a signal, and it shoots the signal from one neuron to another to tell it what to do. So it might say, chew your food, say this word, move that arm, push that chair. So it tells us what to do from one neuron going to another neuron, right? But in between that, this pathway, okay, when we do something over and over and over again, that pathway starts to happen much quicker. When we have done something for the first time, our brain sends the signal, it has to figure it out, and then it figures it out, but it takes a little longer than it would if we had done this over and over and over again. So it's just a little something we should know, right? Now, what does this have anything to do with self-esteem? Okay. or gratefulness for that matter? Well, self-esteem is how we think of ourselves, right? Now, last week I asked for the self-esteem challenge for everyone to give me their strengths and skills. For anyone who's new to this group or this channel, you will know that that was something that was a little difficult for a lot of people. And if you try to do it yourself, you might find that it's hard for you to do. The reason it's so hard is because we develop this sort of negative self-talk throughout our lives. Just like I was talking about those neurons going from one path to the other. If I start, at a young age, or if I just start talking to myself in a bad way, using negative terms or negative language to myself or about myself, and I do that so often, eventually my brain makes that connection so quickly. So now when I think to myself, oh, something terrible is going to happen, right? If I think that often enough, and then my body responds by feeling something, anxiety, stress, fear, and then physically reacting, right? Maybe the hairs on my neck stand up. I start to get a stomach ache and my arms tighten up, right? And then my physical reaction, my behavior is to shut down, isolate, run away, or maybe I would scream and yell and cry about it, right? So those might be my behavioral reactions. Now, if I do those things often enough, I speak to myself often enough in a certain way, my brain's going to do that much quicker. Those physical reactions are going to happen quicker, and the anxiety or behavior is going to happen quicker. So let's try that the opposite way. Right? If I start focusing on how I speak to myself in a more positive way, with more positive language or gratitude, my brain starts to hear that language and work quicker to get to a more positive mindset. So when we talk about being positive, just be positive, it'll be better. It's not really what we mean, right? What we actually mean is practicing positivity, mindfulness, and gratitude actually creates it creates a synapse in your brain to get that message there quicker. Okay, does that make sense? So if we're talking to ourselves negatively, that's going to be the way our brain naturally does it. Now we're going to try and change that and talk in a more positive way. Now, we'd really like to do is talk about ourselves in a more positive way and speak about our strengths and our skills. But what we noticed, at least last week in our challenge, was that was really difficult to do. So what if we start by being more grateful? What if we just try to think of 3 things that we are grateful for every day? It's 3 things that you're grateful for, or 3 positive things about your day. If we can speak to ourselves at least in those 3 grateful or positive ways every day, we are going to restructure the brain to think in a more positive manner. Okay? Now, how are we going to do that? We need accountability. We need to stay consistent. So I run the private Facebook group. If you are not already part of it, you can join. And we are going to comment on a private topics page there, all of our gratitude and positivity. You can do this yourself if you don't want to join the private Facebook group, or if you have no interest in sharing this with anyone else, but you just want to do it for yourself, okay? 3 things that you are grateful for, or 3 positive things about your day. Now, hey, so easy, right? Until you go to do it. And then it might actually be really difficult because we've spoken to ourselves in this negative language for so long that it's hard to break that cycle, even when it comes to not speaking about ourselves. So when you're confronted with a day where it might be really hard to think of 3 things you're grateful for or 3 positive experiences you've had today, I want you to ask yourself, what was your struggle? What was the obstacle that has made it so difficult for you to see things in a good way? Then I want you to ask yourself, okay, if this is so terrible, right, what kind of silver lining could I see? I'm going to give you a really harsh example. Let's say someone passes away, okay? On that day, it might be a really big struggle to find anything positive or to be grateful for anything. But you might want to take a look at, your sadness, your grief. That's completely acceptable and allowed. And it doesn't mean that you're a bad person for being grateful for other things or for seeking any other positive things in your life. Sometimes we fear that when bad things happen, we're not supposed to be happy. We should be grateful. but we should, okay? Because it's about how we speak to ourselves, and it helps translate into how we feel about ourselves as well. So a good example of something you could say if someone passes away or something, if something tragic like that happens is, well, at least I have my health still, or thankfully I still have the health of my other family members or friends. Maybe I look at, if this person was suffering, or if they were very old or ill, and maybe this is a better, better place for them. We can always see gratitude in really horrible situations if we just look for it. If you struggle to find gratitude any day, reach out. That's what the support group is for, and that's what I'm here for as well. Okay, so other things I wanted to mention. Okay, we're going to do this for 21 days. Why 21 days? 21 days creates a habit. So if we do this for 21 days, we can actually reprogram our brain to think in a more positive way. And then your next self-esteem challenge will be the second step to this. So you'll have to get ready for it. That's it. I'm not going to overwhelm everybody with some info. I will say this. As children, our brains, that neuroplasticity, it's a lot easier for us to change that signal, right? We're developing, so we can mold and flex much easier as children. It does not mean that as adults we cannot. I think for a very long time, science world believed that, after a certain point, you were not able to restructure that brain, but you are. It just takes a lot more consistency and time, right? Effort. So it's something that we have to be very mindful of and be conscious to work at. And that's why I created this challenge for you. Now, the other great fun thing I just want to mention really quick, I want to thank you all for your support. So I would like anyone who has subscribed to this channel and likes this video to, they will be entered in next month's book club book reward challenge, or whatever incentive. So I'm going to be giving away next month's book club book. We do a book club in my private Facebook group, Christina's Couch, and we will I will be giving away next month's book. We haven't picked the book yet, but whatever we decide it is, I think it's April 4th or something that we decide on the new book. This month we're reading Unblank Yourself, F-U-C-K Yourself, by John Gary Bishop, and so far it's been really great. Next month I have a feeling the book might be Girl, Stop Apologizing. I'm going to put that in the mix, and there'll be a few others I'm going to put in the mix, and we'll vote in the group. But if you subscribe, or if you have subscribed and you like this video, I will enter you in the drawing to win the book. You can also, if you prefer not to read and you would like an Audible version, I can do that as well. I can send you an Amazon gift card so that you can download the Audible version. So that's all for today, everybody. If you have not already, so if you're new to the group or the channel and you want to do last week's self-esteem challenge, which was to write 3 strengths or skills that you have, you can add it to your comment below. You can add it in our private Facebook group. However you feel most comfortable. Okay, so I hope to see you all soon. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm trying to keep these videos under 15 minutes, trying to keep them to 10 minutes tops, but sometimes these longer segments are a little harder. Today, I am so grateful that I have all of you wonderful, amazing supporters. I am so grateful for my job that I love so much and being able to educate and help others. And I am so grateful today for my husband, because he really helped me with getting up and getting some goals set today. And, we were supposed to spend a little time together tonight, and I was like, oh, I really had to do this. And he said, go for it. He's really supportive too. So that's been awesome. And that's it. Those are my gratefulness for the day. And I hope to hear all of yours soon. Have a wonderful day. Oh, by the way, no makeup on today. Not something I normally would allow, but I just went with it. Self-esteem challenge, right? Gotta do what you gotta do. So I can't even believe I went to work with no makeup on, by the way. That is not something I normally would do, but I was in such a rush. So is what it is. Love yourself always, and I will see you soon.